Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the barn out here at St. Bernard Acres. This is Sunday, July 27th. Very hot, very humid, and if you listen closely you may hear thunder rolling in. More rain, more storms coming. Had plenty of them last night. And Friday night. Shoot. I mean, I got the most of the yard mowed. Thank God I put new blades on that Husqvarna. Cause I mean, it was so big. And what's funny is the grass was so tall because it's just every weekend rain. And it's so humid that the grass doesn't get to dry. It can't dry because it's so wet outside. So I just had to mow, at the highest setting and just clumps everywhere. Now it's supposed to, after Wednesday or so, the humidity dropped down and temperature dropped way down and it should be dry. So hopefully next Friday I'll mow it again and that'll cut up all the dead grass and clumps that flew everywhere. I hate mowing like that, but I had to get it knocked down. I can't go another week. So I figured since it's going to be raining and everything, I'd work on this weed eater I got. I got this a couple years ago to do a review on. And it quit working. But I've been messing with it. I got it running again. So now, I was using it primarily for the brush cutter. But you can see, we beat the crap out of this thing. I mean, it's seen its better days for sure. So I'm gonna try to put the string head on here. It comes with a bump string head. It's never been on here, but I'm gonna try it out. And first I'm gonna let me get this. Because I was using the pole saw, was the last thing I used on it. So I'm going to get that attachment off of here. And see if I can. All right. Then let me put this one up. It works really well. I mean, I got the hedge trimmer. The pole saw, the brush cutter, and the string head, all on a 26cc motor. I was trying to turn the handle around. So let me screw this back on. Got that on there. Now, that's what the four-wheeler's good for. A work table. Let me go see if I can find the string head now. All right. And there it is. Never been used. Now let's see if I can figure out how to get it on here. Okay, I'm gonna have to get something in here. That on there. I'm going to have to get a socket for this nut, I believe. Oh, that's going to work. Alright, let's see if it starts now. Start. primer. Thought I had it. Thought I had it fixed. Might have to take this damn carburetor off again. Okay, maybe now. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Thought I had it fixed. Shit. Well, it's raining. Well, looks like I got a little bit more work to do on that weed eater than I thought. I had it running yesterday. I was using the pole saw on it out here around the barn entrance. So I don't know what happened. I know when I took that carburetor off to clean it yesterday, the fuel lines, those are pretty cheap fuel lines, and they looked like they had dirt in them anyway. So I guess I'm going to order some fuel line and replace those, and then give it another shot. Because it's a powerful weed eater, I'll give them credit for that. Just cheap material, I think, was the biggest problem. So, hopefully my fan here isn't making too much noise in the background. But it's hot, let me tell you. It's hot today and humid. Even with the rain, it's like, usually when you get thunderstorms like that, it washes out all the humidity and all the dead air and stale air. Not doing that around here. A different kind of rain, I reckon. Yeah. God, I don't know if you can see it or not. My hand is all swelled up. I got bit by something yesterday. Last night, after I got done mowing, there was a spot about that big that was swelled up. And overnight, I mean, the entire hand is swelled up. Now I'm going to have to go in, I guess, and get it looked at. I can't see where anything bit, which is what's surprising, and I didn't feel anything, but nothing unusual there. So what do we want to talk about? I hope everybody had a good week. I had a great week. I got to do... I think I did a video Wednesday from the cab. I got to talk about a couple things. A couple more things I want to talk about now. Number one is customer service and being a cab driver. Those normally don't go together, I don't think. I don't think people have thought about that. But the way it works, I guess it used to be there would be a list of calls, list of fares, and you would pick what you wanted to go do, who you wanted to pick up and where they were going. You know, you made those kind of decisions. Well, getting paid by the hour, I don't get those kind of decisions. They schedule me, and they tell me where to go, who to pick up, where to take them, whether to wait on them or go pick up another fare. But I have a queue that has my next job, you know, each one is a job like. So, and and it's all done over the phone. I get everything through this app on the phone. And one of the nice things about the app on the phone is a customer can have that app and they can book a cab over the phone and pick a time that they need to be picked up, and they can pay for it through the app. You know, it tells them what the mileage is and what the charge is going to be, depending on, you know, where you're picking them up at and where they're going to go. All that stuff's pre-done. So Thursday afternoon, I'm getting ready to, getting close to the end of my day. I get off at 5 o'clock normally. Well, I had taken somebody to Wheeling Hospital for a doctor's appointment, and not to wait on them, right? So I pick up my next call. It's 4:08. I figure, well, this will probably be my last one. And it's picking up this girl in Bel Air and taking her to work in Bridgeport. No problem. In the notes, I happened to see she had booked that cab 7:30 Thursday morning. And in the notes said she had to be at work at 3 o'clock. You know, there was no need to pick her up early or anything, but she had to be at work at 3 o'clock. I get the order at 4:08. I'm like, wow, she must have gotten another ride. This must be a mistake. So I called her and said, look, I saw you put in the note you had to be at work by 3 o'clock. Do you still need a cab? And she said, yes, I have to get to work. And the wind out there. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I wasn't very far away, so I went over there and I picked her up. She works at Domino's, you know. It's no biggie. It's a 4-mile ride. $10 fare is all it is. Right? Her car had broken down. She had to get to work. So she gets in the cab and she calls her boss and says, look, the cab's finally here. I'm coming in. And I don't hear what her boss is saying, but I can tell her boss is yelling at her. You know, and I'm like, really sorry that I don't know how that happened or why it happened or anything like that. So we get there and I drop her off. She gets out of the cab and hands me a $10 bill. It says it's $10, right? And I said, no, I'll pay this fare. Don't worry. There's no way. You've already lost an hour and a half in wages. I can't expect you to pay $10 for that. You know, I will cover this fare. Don't worry about it. You know, she's like, really? I said, yeah, just get in there and get punched in before you get yelled at again. So she went in. I think I had another run to do. But I finally get back to the office after I'm done with my day. And you got to total up all your cash runs and credit card runs and the insurance runs, you know. And I'm doing the few cash runs I did. And I'm like $10 short. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You know, I recount the money, I recalculate, and I'm like $10 short. I'm standing there talking to the dispatcher and another driver in there. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I forgot I was going to pay her fare. I wrote it down as $10. So I reached in my pocket and got the $10 out and added it to the till. And the dispatcher's like, no, you don't pay other people's fares. You don't do that. You know, that's a bad habit to start. It's not your fault that she was late. And I said, I don't care. I'm an employee of this company, and that's an embarrassment to me, number one. In my 40 years of working in management and printing and direct mail, the number one thing I told everybody, the people that worked for me, the salesmen, everybody that worked where I worked, I let them know that this is what you got to follow as far as customer service goes. And customer service is in any business, you have to practice this. If you have a customer and you treat them fair and you do a good job and they're satisfied with everything, they might tell one or two people, right? Word of mouth is very good advertising. But they might tell a couple people, hey, by the way, this company did a really good job for me. But conversely, if you piss them off, or you don't treat them fair, or you provide lousy service, they're going to tell everybody they know and anybody who will listen to them what you did to them. Right? And trust me, they will embellish the hell out of it while they're doing it. So there's nothing more important than customer service in any job. Period. I don't care what you are. Customer service. Be nice to people. That's what you have to be. You know, and I don't care how rude the customer is or what the customer says. You be nice to them. You be courteous to them. That's your job. You're the professional. Right? That kind of stuff pisses me off. And then to say, no, don't start that kind of habit. It's not your responsibility. It's not your fault that nobody picked them up. You guys had 6 hours to arrange a cab there for her at 2:45 to pick her up. Right? What else should she do? Does she need to call, 4 hours or 4 days in advance? I don't know. I just didn't like it. I felt better about paying her fare for her. And I hope she doesn't get in any more trouble than what I heard the manager already yelling about. That was crazy, boy. I love driving a cab. I really like this job. What else? Oh, yeah. Same Thursday again, right? I'm driving along. We have Ring cameras out here. And we have them at home. And if anybody comes on this property or, in our back, at home, the camera goes off and sends an alert to your phone, and you can look at it and see what's going on. Well, I'm driving Thursday, and the camera goes off, the alert goes off. I don't know if it's from out here, I don't know if it's from home or what it is. I can't look while I'm driving. I can't go to the Ring app and check it out. Well, Gail called, and she said, there's somebody walking around on our property. And I'm like, okay, what are they doing? I can't look. Right? Because I filed the paperwork with the electric company. If you remember, the $5,000 I had to put up to get that transformer and everything, once I got the septic in, I would get that back. So they wanted to see the permit, and I sent them a couple pictures of us installing it so I could get that ball rolling. I said, maybe that's Eli from the electric company coming to, verify that the septic is going in. She said, well, it's somebody taking pictures of the house and the barn. I said, oh, maybe the tax man cometh. He might be the county assessor out here. And sure enough, he was walking back. He got up by the driveway camera, and you can talk to whoever it is through the camera. And Gail's like, can I help you? And the guy says, I'm with the county tax assessor's office. There you go, And he asked her, said, didn't you used to have a bigger cabin down there? Well, they only come around, he says, once every 6 or 7 years. And the last time he was here, the original shed I was going to convert was sitting down where the house is now. And the shed I'm in wasn't here. So they put that original shed as a cabin on the taxes. When I got rid of it, I could have called and said, hey, that building is gone, readjust my taxes. But I built the cabin that I'm in now. I figured, same thing, so I just didn't even pay it any mind. And Gail told me, yeah, we had to send it back, then we built this. And he's like, when did you build this one? And Gail said, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago. And he said, well, that makes sense. I only come around every 6 years or so. And he's like, are these going to be cabins, pointing at Alex's building and our building down here? She said, well, we're going to put those together. It's going to become a house. We're building a house. So he said, all right, what I'm going to do this year, he said, I'm just going to write it up as under construction. And he said, we'll come back next year. We'll look at what's done, look at how it's supposed to be, and then we will evaluate it. And I thought that was kind of nice of him. That was a cool way to do it. But yeah, they will catch. I don't care who you are, where you live. The tax man will come. You make improvements to your property, the tax man is coming at some point. And everything that you do will be added to your tax bill, right? They're going to add the fact that I now have electric. They're going to add the fact that I now have a septic system. They're going to add the fact I now have a house, you know. Everything you do, they look at and add as value. So, I mean, I can't complain a whole lot. My taxes out here, even with the cabin on it, the 10 acres and the barn and, you know, the cabin, it's around $600 a year. That's not outrageous. Hear the thunder? That's not outrageous. You know, I don't like it, but it's not outrageous. In Wheeling, for my house and the lot I bought next door to me, our taxes are less than $300 a year. So, you know, I know people that pay a whole lot more. But that's the way this works. You don't own anything. This might be in my name. That house and everything is in my name. There's no bank or anything involved. But I rent it from the county and from the state. Right? If you don't rent it, or if you don't pay those taxes, trust me, you will get evicted and they will sell that place. So you're just renting it. And what he's going to do is come back out next year to see what it looks like and reevaluate it so they can figure out how much rent to charge us from now on. But fortunately, we'll be living out here, and Gail and I both then will be over 65 and we get a discount for that. And then we can claim our homestead exemption and we can get a discount for that. So that might offset some of the, however much they're going to raise it. You know, that's what I'm hoping. But anyway, I'm going to go over there and fitz around with that weed eater some more, and I got to go down and get the chainsaw and fix it. I had a tree blow down here last weekend, and I had the chainsaw out and was cutting it all up, and the chain flew off the chainsaw at the, you know, as I finished up. So I got that up here. I got to put that back together, clean that up because I used it. And I didn't do a live stream last night. I think I'm going to suspend my live streams for a few weeks. I mean, it's summertime. It's the weekend. Everybody has things to do on Saturday night. So do I. So, you know, I'm just going to, I can't pick another night because, you know, of work and being in Wheeling, different things happening. Plus I do things, you know. I do have a life outside of YouTube, trust me. And it's a hectic schedule, so it's difficult to pinpoint a time, you know. And the thing had gotten back to where, you know, there's one subject that people want to talk about. Right? I'm tired of talking about Ed. Every Saturday night I mention, I do not watch his channel anymore. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know who's doing what. I mean, I have no idea. And I don't care. He lost me because he's fallen off the deep end. I don't compare myself to his channel or any other channel. I don't give a shit. Right? I care about mine. I know a lot of my subscribers who was enjoying our live streams until I let it slip away to that, because anybody that asks a question, or I try to answer everybody. I don't even think about it, you know, that somebody comments about that and somebody else comments about it, then I comment about it, you know, just reading the comments. I don't think about it. But we're going to have to get off of that kind of, that's not what my channel's about. And when I get back into it, I figure after school starts, the vacations are over, you know, it'll be less hectic, and you know, it'd be more fun on a Saturday night, I think. But I'm going to get off of here now. I've kept y'all long enough. Makes up for not doing the live stream last night. You got any questions or anything, or any advice, especially on that damn weed eater? I know I got to change them fuel lines. I should have done it, you know. If I fitzed around with the carburetor, cleaned it out again, I probably should clean out the fuel tank too, because it's sat for a couple years. I probably should have cleaned out everything. But like I said, it was running yesterday. I was using the pole saw yesterday. But we'll get it going, you know. I have other weed eaters just in case. But this is Joe out here in the barn at St. Bernard Acres. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Remember to like, share, comment, to check and make sure you're subscribed. All this good stuff. Peace out, everybody. I'm out.